You know, it's not often something from the lower dimensions catches my attention, be it planetary destruction, eldritch abomination moons devouring Earth, or even a being like the toy maker deciding to make life a little bit more difficult for everyone just for the fun of it. But this I had to talk about. R2-D2, the most famous astromech in the Star Wars galaxy, with a kill rate only surpassed by Palpatine, Vitiate, and maybe the Rakata Infinite Empire. And I say maybe because even they would flinch at these numbers. Look, I don't mean to be rude, but this little murder machine is so out of pocket. There's a reason why he's the only member of the original group that is still active all the way into 138 ABY, still saving Skywalker backsides like it's clockwork. Now let's do this properly. Let's start with the new canon. At minimum, R2-D2's kill count starts at least 1 million just because of the first Death Star alone. Yes, I can already hear you say, but he didn't take part in the destruction of the first Death Star. He got blown up by Darth Vader. Are you sure about that? Let's think for a minute. Without R2-D2, Luke would have never gotten off of Tatooine, Leia would still be a prisoner, Han and Chewie wouldn't have gotten paid, and nobody would have escaped the Death Star. And R2-D2 didn't just survive the station, he was there for the whole rescue and saves the crew from being smashed in a trash compactor. Just imagine how embarrassing that would have been.
How embarrassing? How embarrassing.
He even takes a hit during the trench run, shielding Luke from Darth Vader's fire. That counts as one death, or a combat deactivation if you want to be technical. Then there's the Karita incident, where the CIS hijacks the Renown, a Vantor-class Star Destroyer, to smash into a key military installation in which a high-level meeting of the Republic Navy was being held, and R2 goes down during that firefight. That's a total of 2 deaths so far. So even if we stop here, we have 1 million plus kills and 2 deaths. So a KD ratio of 500,000 to 1. Not bad, not bad. It's pretty accurate, but also...
Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Now, let's get serious. When we crack open Legends, we see where R2-D2 officially enters war crime territory. The year is 11 ABY. The event, the Dark Empire Crisis, final chapter. Palpatine is back from the dead, again, his body failing, and he's come to steal the body of a literal baby. Yes, Anakin Solo, to possess and live on. Yeah, we're dealing with peak comic book Palpatine here. Things get wild, Han shoots Palpatine, Giant Knight Brand traps his spirit and drags him screaming into the netherworld of the Force. Epic stuff, to be entirely honest. But here's where R2-D2 shows up like the Grim Reaper. While chaos is happening, R2-D2 slices into Palpatine's personal Super Star Destroyer, the Eclipse 2, and reprograms its navicomputer to jump right into the Galaxy Gun, a super weapon more powerful than the Death Star itself. You heard me. He made a Super Star Destroyer kamikaze another super weapon, and the resulting explosion, utterly massive. But it only gets worse, because the Galaxy Gun was already loaded with a planet-killing torpedo, and that torpedo, well, it just so happens to get pulled into the gravity well of Byss, the true Imperial throne world, and when it hits, Byss is vaporized. The population, 19.7 billion people. But wait, there's more. Remember, the Eclipse 2 also had its own crew. Now we can only estimate this crew at being around 934,645 based off the original Eclipse. Then there's the 6 Imperial class Star Destroyers that were protecting the Galaxy Gun that also were destroyed, which is 280,830. Then the Galaxy Gun itself, we can only estimate the crew at being 185,552 because it is roughly 5 times the size of an Imperial class Star Destroyer. Then there's the Byss Defense Fleet, which is composed of Star Destroyers, frigates, battle cruisers, at least a Star Dreadnought or 2, easily fetching another 1 million people being destroyed. So when you round them all together, the conservative total is a whopping 20.1 billion sentients in one action. R2 just casually committed the single most devastating act in galactic history before the Vong War and after the Kalma massacre. And unlike Nihilus, who had the fortune of planet to dust, R2 just hacked a Nava computer. Let's do the math. Kills, 20 billion. Deaths, 2. R2-D2's kill-death ratio is 10 billion billion to 1. That's not just numbers. That's an extinction level event. More than Nihilus, more than Vader, and more than anyone except for Palpatine, the Yuuzhan Vong, and maybe the Rakata Infinite Empire's entire war campaign, and they needed centuries. So yeah, the next time someone tries to tell you that droids aren't people, just remind them. One droid alone blew up a planet and ended the Empire's reign of terror, and he never got a medal. Give this droid a medal.